what's up everyone, it's your girl Brian Shanae, and today I'll be introducing with you part 2 of my anticipated reads of 2023. So let's go ahead and get started. So this first book that I'm going to be sharing with you comes out March the 7th, and I'm really looking forward to reading this book. It's pretty much the cover that's what got me wanting to read this. And so it is The Adventures of Amina al-Sarifi, and this is by S.A. Chakraborty, and this is the first book in the series. So I'm really looking forward to reading this, and it sounds really good so far as well as from what the synopsis. So it says, Shannon Chakraborty, the best-selling author of The City of Brass, spins a new trilogy of magic and mayhem in the high seas in this tale of pirates and sorcerers, forbidden artifacts and ancient mysteries in one woman's determined quest to seize a final chance at glory and write her own legend. It says Amina al-Sarifi should be content. After a storied and scandalous career as one of the Indian Ocean's most notorious pirates, she survived backstabbing rogues, vengeful merchant princes, several husbands, and one actual demon to retire peacefully with her family to a life of piety, motherhood, and absolutely nothing that hints of the supernatural. But when she's tracked down by the obscenely wealthy mother of a former crewman, she's offered a job no bandit could refuse. Retrieve her comrade's kidnapped daughter for a kingly sum. The chance to have one last adventure with her crew, do right by an old friend, and win a fortune that will secure her family's future forever? That sounds like a done deal to me. It becomes alarmingly clear there's more to this job and the girl's disappearance than she was led to believe. It says, for there is always a risk in wanting to become a legend, to seize one last chance at glory, to savor just a bit more power, and the price might be your very soul. But literally, it literally says here, it seems like such an obvious choice that it must be God's will. Yet, the deeper Amina dives, the more it becomes alarmingly clear there's more to this job. So when somebody gives you a job like that and they give you a pretty good amount of money or whatever, there has to be a catch. There always has to be a catch. Like, especially when you're about to retire, live lavishly and luxuriously. There's always a catch. So I'm really looking forward to this. This sounds really good, and I'm really excited for this one. Now, this next one is by Fonda Lee, and this book is going to be coming out April the 11th. It's pretty much a novella. It's going to be at least 160 pages, and that is Untethered Sky. And I'm going to pretty much be reading anything and everything by Fonda Lee. And so for this book, it says, from world fantasy award-winning author Fonda Lee comes Untethered Sky, an epic fantasy fable about the pursuit of obsession at all costs. Esther's family was torn apart when a manticore killed her mother and baby brother, leaving her with nothing but her father's painful silence and a single overwhelming need to kill the monsters that took her family. Esther's path leads her to the king's royal muse, where the giant rocks of legend are flown to hunt manticores by their brave and dedicated rustlers. Paired with a fledgling rock named Zara, Esther finds purpose and acclaim by devoting herself to a calling that demands absolute sacrifice and a creature that will never return to her love. The terrifying partnership between woman and rock leads Esther not only on the Empire's most dangerous manticore hunts, but on a journey of perseverance and acceptance. So, I'm really looking forward to reading this. This sounds really good. I don't care if it's 160 pages. It's Fonda Lee, so definitely an auto buy, a definite auto read. So I'm really looking forward for this one as well. Now for this next one, this cover was recently released by R.F. Kuang, and that is Yellowface. And I'm really excited for this book. This book's going to be coming out May 25th, and I'm really excited for this one. So for what this is about, it says, what's the harm in a pseudonym? New York Times bestselling sensation Juniper Song is not who she says she is. She didn't write the book she claims she writes, and she is most certainly not Asian American. In this chilling and hilariously cutting novel from R.F. Kuang, in the vein of White Ivy and the Other Black Girl, authors June Howard and Arthur Loon were supposed to be twin rising stars. Same year at Yale, same debut year in publishing, but Athena's a cross-genre literary darling, and June didn't even get a paperback release. Nobody wants stories about basic white girls, June thinks. So when June witnesses Athena's death in a freak accident, she acts on impulse. She steals Athena's just finished masterpiece, an experimental novel about the unsung contribution of Chinese laborers to the British and French war efforts during World War I. So what if June edits Athena's novel and sends it to her agent as her own work? So what if she lets her new publisher rebrand her as Juniper Song, complete with an ambiguously author photo? Doesn't this piece of history deserve to be told, whoever the teller? That's what June claims, and the New York Times bestseller list seems to agree. But June can't get away from Athena's shadow, and emerging evidence threatens to bring June's stolen success down around her. As June races to protect her secret, she discovers exactly how far she will go to keep what she thinks she deserves. With its totally immersive first-person voice, Yellowface takes on questions of diversity, racism, and cultural appropriation, not only in the publishing industry, but the persistent erasure of Asian American voices and history by Western white society. R.F. Kuang's novel is timely, razor-sharp, and eminently readable. Yeah, I'm reading it. I'm reading it. I'm definitely reading it. It got me. With that synopsis, like, I love the cover, but just with the synopsis, this is a topic that, and I feel like a discussion that always needs to be had. So I'm really looking forward to this one. I don't know about y'all, but I'm definitely going to be reading this next year. This next book is pretty much an auto read for me. So, of course, is Heavenly Tyrant. And what this book is, it says Zetsian, now ruler of Shogun, must balance dangerous politics with her quest for revenge in the sequel to the #1 New York Times bestseller, Iron Widow, a blend of Chinese history and mecha science fiction. So, looking forward to it. Like I said, I loved Iron Widow. It was such a great read. I loved every single moment and every single word written in that book. It was just beautifully done, so I'm really excited for the sequel. Now, for this next book, I'm excited for, and this book is going to be coming out July 25th, and that is Immortal Longings, and this is by Chloe Gong. I love this cover. I just love it. It's beautiful. And so for this one, it says #1 New York Times bestselling author Chloe Gong's adult epic fantasy debut, inspired by Shakespeare's Antony and Cleopatra, is a fiery collision of power plays, spilled blood, and romance amidst a set of deadly games. Every year, thousands in the kingdom of Talon will flock to its capital, Twin City, Sanur, where the palace hosts a set of games. For those confident enough in their ability to jump between bodies, competitors across Center fight to the death to win unimaginable riches. Princess Kala Talumi lurks in hiding. 5 years ago, a massacre killed her parents and left the palace of Ur empty, and she was the one who did it. Before King Kasa's forces in San can catch her, she plans to finish the job and bring down the monarchy. Her reclusive uncle always greets the victor of the game, so if she wins, she gets her opportunity at last to kill him. Enter Anton Makusa, an exiled aristocrat. His childhood love has lain in a coma since they were both ousted from the palace, and he's deep in debt trying to keep her alive. Thankfully, he's one of the best jumpers in the kingdom, flitting from body to body at will. His last chance at saving her is entering the games and winning. Kala finds both an unexpected alliance with Anton and help from King Kasa's adopted son, August, who wants to mend Talon's ills. But the three of them have very different goals. Even as Kala and Anton's partnership spirals into something all-consuming, before the games close, Kala must decide what she's playing for, her lover or her kingdom. So, yep, I'm excited for it, especially when it talked about, like, Cleopatra and Antony. Like, I'm here for it. So I'm really looking forward to reading this. I love Chloe Gong's writing, and I think I'm really going to enjoy this one. Now, this next book, I'm really looking forward to reading because I love The Lost Apothecary, and so I'm really excited for this one, and that is The London Seance Society by Sarah Penner. This book is going to be coming out March 21st. So if you haven't read The Lost Apothecary, it's really good. I really enjoyed it. I highly recommend it. And then also, like, even with this one, The London Seance Society, I'm here for it. So definitely check out this book because it sounds really interesting. I'm not going to read the synopsis for this one because I want y'all to read it yourselves. But I really enjoyed The Lost Apothecary, and I feel I'm to love this one as well. So definitely check it out. This next one is an auto read for me, and that is Blood Over Brighthaven by M.L. Wong. This book is going to be coming out, I believe, in July. So I'm really looking forward to reading this. This is going to be so far in the Kindle edition, but who knows? There might be a book coming out, but it's just in the Kindle edition so far is what I know. And so, like, I love the cover as well. It's just beautiful. So for this one, it says, magic has made the city of Tyrant an industrial utopia, but magic has a cost, and the collectors have come calling. An orphan since the age of 4, Siona has always had more to prove than her fellow students. For 20 years, she has devoted every waking moment to the study of magic, fueled by a mad desire to achieve the impossible, to be the first woman ever admitted to the high magistracy. When she finally claws her way up the ranks to become a high mage, however, she finds that her challenges have just begun. Her new colleagues will stop at nothing to let her know she is unwelcome, beginning with giving her a janitor instead of a qualified lab assistant. What neither Siona nor her peers realize is that her taciturn assistant was once more than a janitor. Before he mopped floors for the mages, Thamo was a nomadic hunter from beyond Tyrant's magical barrier. 10 years have passed since he survived the perilous crossing that killed his family. But working for a high mage, he seized the opportunity to finally understand the forces that decimated his tribe, drove him from his homeland, and keep the Turnish in power. Through their factious relationship, mage and outsider uncovered an ancient secret that could change the course of magic forever, if it doesn't get them killed first. Siona has defined her life by the pursuit of truth, but how much is one truth worth with the fate of civilization in the balance? And this says, a standalone dark academia brimming with mystery, tragedy, and the damning echoes of the past. And it says for fans of Lee Bardugo v. Swab and Full Metal Alchemist, but it does have content warnings, which is it says content warnings for gore, sexual assault, and suicidal ideation. So just to let y'all know, it does have some content warnings within this book, but I do look forward to reading this because I love M.L. Wong and I love the writing. The writing is just beautiful. I loved it. I love it. Love it. But yeah, so this is another one that I do plan on reading. This next book I'm really excited for. I'm not even going to read the synopsis because I feel like the cover speaks itself and it looks really good. And that is The Lies of the Ojungo, and this is by Moses Osei Atume. Hopefully I'm pronouncing the author's name right. If I'm not, I do apologize. But this book is going to be coming out March the 21st. I'm really looking forward to reading this. This looks really good, so I cannot wait for this one. Now, this next one I'm really hyped and geeked for because this is the sequel to The Final Strife, and that is The Battle Drum, and this is by Sarah Al-Arifi, and this looks so good, and I just love the cover so much. And this book is going to be coming out May 23rd. I'm not even going to read the synopsis because I do not want to spoil it for myself. I want to be, I just want to be excited and I just want to be surprised in a sense. Like I want to be surprised, but then I just, you know what? I'm reading synopsis. I changed my mind. So it says, murder, secrets, sacrifice. 3 women seek the truth of their empire's past, and the truth they find has the power to ignite a war in the sequel to The Final Strife, the continuation of a visionary fantasy trilogy inspired by Africa and Arabia. Honor is the first blue-blooded ruler of the Warden's empire, but when she is accused of a murder she didn't commit, her reign is thrown into turmoil. She must solve the mystery and clear her name without the support of her beloved Scylla. Scylla braves new lands to find a solution for the hurricane that threatens to destroy her home. But in finding answers, she must make a decision. Does she sacrifice her old life in order to raise up her sword once more? Haas's web of secrets grows ever thicker as she finds herself on a trail of crimes in the city. Her searching uncovers the extent of the atrocities of the empire's past and present. Now she must guard both her heart and her land. The 3 women find their answers, but they're not the answers they wanted. The drumbeat of change thrums throughout the world, and it sings a song of war. Ready we will be when the ending fire comes, when the child of fire brings the battle drum. The battle drum, the battle drum. Ready will we be, for war will come. So I'm really looking forward to this one. I loved The Final Strife. That was one of my my book club picks because I was always intrigued, and I feel like a lot of people, like a lot of my members that that read it with me, just loved it, and we're really excited for this sequel. So definitely keep your eye out for this one. If you haven't read The Final Strife, I highly recommend that you do so because I feel like you're missing out. Now, for this last book for part 2 of my anticipated reads, I feel like this is going to be a great book, and it might be one of the picks that I pick for my book club. I don't know which month, but it'll probably be the following month that it comes out, which this book comes out March the 21st, but who knows, it might be a few months later, so that everyone can get their copy or whatever they have to do, or get it on Libby, whatever, because this sounds really good, and that is Alone Women, and this is by Victor Laval. And like I said, this book comes out March the 21st. So for this one, it says, blue skies, empty land, and enough room to hide away a horrifying secret. Or is there? Discover a haunting new vision of the American West from the award-winning author of The Changeling. Adelaide Henry carries an enormous steamer trunk with her wherever she goes. It's locked at all times because when the trunk is opened, people around her start to disappear. The year is 1914 and Adelaide is in trouble. Her secret sin killed her parents and forced her to flee her hometown of Redondo, California in a hellfire rush, ready to make her way to Montana as a homesteader. Dragging the trunk with her at every stop, she will be one of the lone women taking advantage of the government's offer of free land for those who can cultivate it. Except that Adelaide isn't alone, and the secret she's tried so desperately to lock away might be the only thing keeping her alive. Told in Victor Laval's signature style, blending historical fiction, shimmering prose, and inventive horror, Lone Women is the gripping story of a woman desperate to bury her past and a portrait of early 20th century America like you've never seen. So this sounds really good. I've been intrigued with all these books. Let me just keep it 100 with y'all. I'm really intrigued with all these books, and I find them all fascinating in their own way because they all have their own stories, and they all stand out. And I'm really looking forward for this one as well. It sounds really good, and I like if y'all join my memberships, because this is definitely going to be a book that I pick for this year. I don't know what month, but I can tell you it's going to be a great discussion because it sounds really interesting. But that is it. This is going to be the end of part 2 of my highly anticipated reads of 2023. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Also hit that subscribe button and that bell to be notified when I upload more videos in the future. But thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I hope you all have a happy holiday. See ya!